Meet me. Alright, welcome back, boys, to another Diablo 2 Resurrected video. So, a lot of you guys, I guess a lot of you, a decent number of you, are actually playing this game, because I've gotten a bunch of messages asking me if I'm still playing, if I intend to do any, like, guide videos on it. I don't know, well, I'm going to keep playing, but I don't know if I'll do any guide videos, so you guys leave in the comments below. This is primarily an Epic 7 channel, but I'm happy to do D2R videos. Again, I'm a Diablo 2 veteran. I've been playing this for a very long time. Probably invested like 5 years of grinding into this game, which is translated well because I think I've progressed pretty quickly here. I think we're about a week and a half to 2 weeks into the launch of this game, so in this video I'm going to go through my gear, my philosophy, what I plan to do next in this game, and just overall if I enjoy it or not. So first of all, let's go over the character. I might even do a separate video on this if you guys are interested in guide videos, but my only character right now is this. It's a Blizzard Sorceress, and the stats are kind of messed up because I didn't care. I still have my skill resets left. So the idea in Diablo 2 is you're trying to farm up a lot of gear, right? Blizzard Sorcs are really well known for being able to farm gear while basically being naked, like Mephisto, which drops some of the best gear in the game with some of the highest drop rates. You can literally do it naked as a Blizzard Sorceress. So that's the reason I went Blizzard Sorc. Her stats are really messed up. I have way too much strength. We'll get into that with the gear. Basically, it's because I was trying to have enough strength to wear a Monarch, and I got an Enigma. But typically, you want to have as little of everything as possible to wear your gear, and just pump everything into Vitality. So it's fine, I never die anyway, but if I wanted to min-max, I would definitely get rid of pretty much all of this strength and put it into Vitality. So some of you, I'm only calling that out because you D2 vets out there will be like, why the hell does your Sorc have so much strength? It's because I don't care. Another thing I recommend for newer players is pretty much every guide is going to say, don't put anything into these, or just a bare minimum into strength. Don't put anything into energy. For newer players in the beginning, like basically you get 3 free skill resets. I would say pump some energy. It'll just make your life a lot easier. You can always respec out of it later. But people always give you like the end game builds. Yeah, energy doesn't matter later on when you have godly gear. In the beginning, if you pump nothing, you're literally going to have to chug pots the whole time. It's going to be very annoying. I would say pump energy. So with that, let's get into the gear. So obviously everyone has 2 sets. So let me just show you the stats with each set. So this is my weapon swap. I swapped to this right before I kill Meth. With that, I have just under 400 MF. But my main gear, I have 315. So my offhand is Oculus because it has 50% MF. I could ist it, but I don't really want to waste an ist on this. And I'm just using Rhyme for the MF. If you don't have this, you could just use Milibregas or something. But Shale F is certainly very cheap. One of the cheapest rune words to build. And it's actually pretty damn good. On my main hand, I'm using Heart of the Oak, which is probably a best-in-slot caster weapon. Oculus is arguably just as good. The thing that people don't like about Oculus is this 25% random chance to teleport when struck. People really hate it because it gets them killed sometimes. I'm in the camp where I actually don't think it's a big deal. It very rarely gets me killed, if ever, but some people really hate it. If you were a hardcore player, you'd probably not want that. But in softcore, doesn't matter. So that's my main weapon. Rolled okay, 36 resistances. It goes up to 40, so maybe one day I'll want to roll it again, but Vex Rune is pretty expensive right now. Shield, just a Spirit standard. I re-rolled this thing like 10 times. The highest roll I've gotten was 33. I really want to get a 35 FCR. For those of you who don't know, it's faster cast rate Spirit. So I'll just keep rolling this thing over and over. Obviously, Shaco. Best in slot for the vast majority of heroes in the game. 2 skills, a chunk of life and mana, damage reduction, and a lot of MF to boot. If you don't care about MF, just obviously put something else other than a P Topaz in it. You could also put an Ist in it if you're a crazy min-maxer. But Pretty much a really good helm. This amulet is just something I gambled, but it's actually pretty good. 2 to all skill levels, 10 FCR. If you wanted to get perfect, you would obviously want something that has a lot of resists. Some people like Mara's. I don't think Mara's has FCR on it though, but still good. It goes up to 30 all res. The armor, I'm using Enigma, and again, I did not have Enigma. This explains the strength, right? Because now, Enigma gives a huge amount of strength. Like you can see it gives 66 to strength. Without Enigma, I didn't have enough strength to use my Monarch, but now I could take all those points away, put it in Vitality. But again, I never die, so I just haven't cared yet. I'm not doing Ubers or anything. But this is possibly one of the most expensive things in the game. I think there are some rune words that require like multiple bear runes. So outside of a select few, this is probably the most desirable armor in the game because it grants 1 to teleport. Now, for classes that aren't Sorc, that's another big thing with Blizzard Sorcs, right? They have teleport, that's why everyone loves it. Enigma allows pretty much every class in the game to play like a mage. Now, obviously, I have it on a Sorc, so it doesn't matter, but it still has really good stats. 2 to all skills. The faster run walk's really good, because I like to min-max my Meth runs, and just walking to the waypoint faster in the beginning helps a lot. And obviously all the other stats on it are really good. 89 MF, just a top-tier armor. This, some people use what's called Mage Fist, but I'm not a fire mage, and the resist is more important to me than the mana regen. I never run out of mana. The rings are just Nagels, because, you can put SOJs or something, but I just wanted MF. I could really just put nothing there to be fine. The belt, I use either Resurrected Mesh or Gold Wrap, but I want to hit the breakpoint. So I'm not going to make a video about breakpoints here, but basically, I think the Sorc breakpoint is 105. I wanted to hit that while tellying because it basically makes you invincible and you don't die to mobs. Boots are just standard War Travelers. They are perfect, though, in terms of MF. 50% MF. And the vast majority of what I've been doing is just cows for runes. I guess I'll show you my inventory later. But basically, I'm not going to go into how to Meth run, but basically just follow your left shoulder, try to find a waypoint as quickly as possible. And then basically you just kill Meth over and over and over. So it is very grindy, but you can get pretty good stuff pretty fast by doing Meth. Now, a lot of other people like to do stuff like pits and 85 areas. I'm actually against that early on in the game because the drop rates on Meth are so much higher overall, I feel like. He can't drop certain pieces of gear, which is why people do those 85 areas, but most of them are completely useless anyway. Like, Tyrael's Might is cool, but no one uses it. Like, who cares about some of those items? Alright, so we just go up to Meth. In the beginning, you can use, like, the Lagoon sheet or whatever, but right now it doesn't matter. You just run up to him and kill him if you get strong enough. 20, these kind of suck, but for newer players it would be okay. Actually, blue circlets usually pick up. Alright, let's just get out of here. Alright, so basically you just do that over and over. Like, if you get a good Endurance spawn, Endurance respawn, you could probably kill Meth in less than 30 seconds start to finish. And you kind of just do that over and over. Let's look at the inventory. So, for my Enigma, I actually found a Jaw rune and a Sur rune. So I had to trade for an extra Sur rune to get the bear. So I actually got super lucky on getting that armor. Most people at this stage of the game, only 2 weeks in, their main goal is to get an Enigma so they can expedite their farming. I opted not to use a superior armor because superior armors are BS. They take a fortune to repair, and it's not like, it's like minimally better. Like, you may have like a 1% higher chance to dodge. So I chose a non-superior base. I don't know. A lot of you guys won't know what the hell I'm talking about anyway. But, I have like 20 mules of random stuff. My good runes I keep in the second page of my stash. So, do have an extra Ohm rune, an Ist rune, a Maul rune, a bunch of runes. I basically just convert all my drops into like Lems and Pulls and Ko's. So, I just keep going on the D2R trade channel and dumping a lot of the random stuff that drops, like Wizard Spikes that I don't care about. Skillers, stuff like that. So that's basically what this game comes down to. Like, you're grinding away. trying to get gear, and then the game gets really fun because, you know, the obvious question is, well, once you have the best gear, what do you do? Well, number one, you're probably never going to have the best gear because later on you start getting into crafting and you really start to min-max, and it'll literally take you like millions of crafts to get a perfect piece. But the other thing is, people are constantly inventing new builds, theory crafting with different kinds of items and stuff. There are even like melee sorceresses from back in the day. I mean, I'm sure it's the same game, so it probably still works, but people used to, you know, build sorceresses that could poke you for like 100,000 damage. There's just a lot of different things. But in terms of pure farming, like most people have one dedicated farmer, usually a Blizzard Sork or a Hammerden, something like that. But then later on, they'll just start building cooler and unique things. And what I ended up doing back in the day was a lot of the end game is just going into PvP lobbies and just fighting each other for pride. There's no arena rating system, anything like that. But a lot of endgame people, that's a lot of what the min-maxing is about. Because, you know, in PVM, it doesn't matter. You could basically do most of PVM except Ubers naked. But in high-end dueling, some people do take min-maxing very seriously. And that's where they'll start caring about, like, you know, the superiors and the 15 ED and stuff. Even in PvP, it won't make that much of a difference, but it makes some difference. So a lot of those people will really care, because a recurring theme in D2 is anything that has, like, you know, percent chance to roll or whatever. Like, you know, like a 29 FCR spirit is probably going to be worth 10% of a 35 FCR spirit, something like that. Like, those last few points that make it 1% better will make it cost 20 times as much. It's weird, but it is just how it is. Like a 40-15 will be worth a lot more than a 38-15, even though it'll make next to no difference. But anyways, that's my rant. So this video is for those of you guys who are asking if I'm still playing and, you know, kind of checking up on my progress in the game. This is where I'm at. My next steps is probably I'm going to make a Hammerden next. And then after, you know, I have that and I have a hero that can clear everything in the game, because Blizzard Sorks can't really solo things like Chaos Sank or Bale. I'll probably move on to my favorite class, which is a Whirlwind Barb, which is not necessarily the best class. It's probably one of the weaker classes, actually. But I just love that class because before LOD, Whirlwind Barbs were everyone's favorite. Like, they would just whirlwind through Act 4, you know, with Dual Leech, Lances, stuff like that. Lance Barbs were so cool back then. It makes me so sad that Lances are pretty terrible in LOD. But back in the day, I'm old school. That's probably what I want my quote-unquote Apex hero to be, my best hero. This is just my farmer here. I don't really care about her overall. I really have no emotional attachment to sorceresses the way I do for barbarians. So anyways, that's my update. If you guys are playing D2R, or if you want me to make guide videos on D2R, I'd be more than happy to. If you don't, just let me know and I won't. But I do love this game. I'm playing a lot, clearly. And if you are, I hope you are too, despite all these really annoying server issues that the game has had lately. So anyways, thanks for watching. If you are grinding, I hope you guys get awesome gear. Until next time, peace out, boys.